What's up guys, it's hashtag Ask Lauren. I almost didn't get a video because I went to yoga and I was like flat asleep on the floor, and I got home and I was like, I do not want to shoot a video. But we have to because I post Monday, Wednesday, and Friday and we're over 2,200 subscribers. Thanks for watching. I got a question from Rhiannon Adams. She asks, what books have you read about the law of attraction, spirituality, and manifestation? Now I know I've talked about meditation in about 3 videos, I think, as well as listening to your spirit guides, which I talked in a video. I'll link to those below, as well as link them up here in the little card infographic if you're watching on mobile. I'm not like a huge reader. I don't read a ton of books because I find I don't make the time. There are a few books that I go back to time and time again. So now we've got them all in one video. I will list off and explain a little bit about some of the books that have helped change my life and help me see things the way they truly are. One of the first books I ever read, I believe I was in high school, and I watched Oprah because my mom watched Oprah, 4 o'clock every day. So when I got home from school, I watched it. One of the first things I ever read was The Seat of the Soul by Zhukov. He was one of the first spiritual people that Oprah ever had, sort of self-helpy type guy on the show. And to be quite honest with you, at this very moment, I do not have the book here because it's in storage, so I can't even remember what it was about, but it was my gateway into self-help and into like knowing there was an energy, knowing that there was something going on, and I needed to like read about how to harness it. And so Zhukov, I think his books would still be completely relevant, and he's probably got new ones. I often see them on the shelf, but The Seat of the Soul is probably like a classic that you should just read. So I'm just gonna go online so I can like give you the proper description because I don't remember. I read it so long ago. And now look, he's got Seat of the Soul Institute. It's obviously taken off and it was massive, but it's like basically about your soul's journey and like the purpose of life. All of this focused, deliberate manifesting of your life, how to harness authentic power, just fulfill your soul's purpose, using every experience of your daily life to fulfill your soul's purpose, how to be authentic, how to live authentically, how to live purposefully. So that's basically what it's about. I think you should read it. In fact, when I pull all of my books out of storage when we move into our new house, I will be revisiting Zhukov's Seat of the Soul because I remember how much it impacted me as a young person. So from there, I don't think I read too many books because I was all wrapped up in school reading textbooks and doing all kinds of stuff like that. But when I started getting into meditation, I read Eckhart Tolle's The Power of Now. Got through it all in like a whole weekend, and Eckhart Tolle just talks about the power of now, being in the present moment, and that is reality. Anything you think about the past and anything you fear about the future or think and worry about the future doesn't exist. The past is gone, the future hasn't happened yet, so what the heck are you worrying about? All you need to worry about is what is happening. You don't even need to worry about what's happening right now. You just need to focus on what's happening now and be in it. And that will take away your suffering, because the reason we suffer emotionally is because we're living in the past or we're living in the future, or we're bouncing back and forth from both and forgetting about the present. So The Power of Now really is a powerful book. It's kind of wordy and complicated, but the way that the new edition is broken down is in like questions a novice would ask, and then Eckhart Tolle answers those questions in like chunks at a time. So it's really broken down in an easy way to understand, and I find it's one of those books where you could just like wake up that morning, open the book to whatever page, and that's kind of like your message of the day, almost like a tarot card or something like that. So that's how I use The Power of Now. Again, I can't find the book, so it's somewhere. I know I had that one because I'm pretty sure I've shown it on camera before. So then after The Power of Now, actually around the same time of reading The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, I started looking into Mike Dooley, who I've mentioned, tut.com. Notes from the Universe is where you can sign up for those to get in your email every day, which I've mentioned many, many times. But Mike Dooley writes Leveraging the Universe, and this book that I actually have on hand, Infinite Possibilities. So I've read both, The Art of Living Your Dreams and Leveraging the Universe. They're both kind of workbooks about manifesting what you want, breaking down the so-called rules of the law of attraction. So let's just open this book, Infinite Possibilities, and see what it says today. Aha. Of course I get this page. See, haha, hilarious, laugh in your face. Love. I believe there are two kinds of love, the one that people talk about when they describe falling in love, and the kind that God or the universe possesses for us. And that, of course, is the love I am trying to tap into on the daily. These two kinds of love are actually so different that there should really be a whole new word to describe the kind that the universe exudes. But since there's no such word, I will call it infinite love. And this morning, of course, synchronicity, I was listening to Abraham, and it was about love. And she said there isn't even a word to describe what that feeling of the universe's abundance that it provides you. There isn't a word. Like, love isn't even a good enough word to explain that connection. And of course, it's so funny how the universe works. I just opened it to this page. Okay, so infinite unconditional love. That's all what Abraham talks about. And this is what Mike Dooley talks about. And this is what the law of attraction and manifestation is all about, is that infinite unconditional love is here now all around us. But we're the ones preventing it from getting to us based on our thoughts and emotions. But it is hilarious that I opened. It's not hilarious. I always go, isn't it interesting that this happened because of the synchronicity that the universe constantly gives you little things of all day long. And when you're in sync, this happens. So whether you pull tarot cards or you open up a page like Infinite Possibilities or The Power of Now, at the beginning of your day, it's almost going to reminisce something that you've already been thinking about, and it's going to resonate with you, and you're going to go, oh, isn't that funny? I'm supposed to learn this, or I need to read this today. I was meant to receive this message. So there's always messages for you to pick up on. But the main thing, without love, why bother creating? Infinite love is everywhere, always. It has no antonym. It is time, space, and matter. It is thought, awareness, and energy. It's the present moment and every form of consciousness it contains. It's the desire and fulfillment of every dream ever dreamt, the spirit of life in an endless dance of joyful becoming. This love, therefore, can't be escaped even if you wanted to escape it, because it's absolute. Right now, no matter who you are, it holds you in the palm of its hand, a hand big enough to hold, keep, and understand the most misguided and vile of all people. This kind of infinite love is not an emotional love. It's not contingent on time, space, or matter, thoughts, beliefs, or perceptions. Yet if it's not an emotional love, why am I mentioning it here? Because it's your heritage. It's what you are made of, and it's your destination. And so on and so forth. Doesn't that just sound delightful? You really should read this book and all the books by Mike Dooley, Leveraging the Universe. I will link to them below. Basically, everything I read all comes back to that exact same message. Love, the connection of you to source energy is love. It is unconditional. No matter what you do, no matter how many negative thoughts you think, you can always reverse what you've created, because you're in control. And that's what we're talking about here, and that's what kind of books you wanted to know about. So I'm so excited because it's just so funny. Like, it all relates to the same thing, but I myself need to keep reading. I need to keep hearing these things, because it's not something you can just read and go, great, I know how to manifest. Let's put this book away and never look at it again. No, it's always changing, and you're having to go with the flow, and you forget, and you get caught up in some drama, or you get caught up in some negative thing, and you forget in that split second, present moment, who you really are. Like he's saying, source energy, that's your heritage, that's where you come from. And in all that drama and in all that stress, you're forgetting that. So that's why we have to constantly remind ourselves and watch YouTube videos or read books or pull tarot cards. And so I have to do this stuff pretty much every day in some way. What helps keep me grounded, at least, is that I meet up with my girlfriends and we have our own meditation sort of women's group where we get together and we do meditation and we share these things and we talk about these things, and it helps us feel more connected and less alone. And so it's something like you should start doing with your friends. Like, maybe if a meditation circle is too intimidating for you, it doesn't have to be anything specific, but maybe it is just, let's read this book together, and then every Friday talk about it, or every whatever day, Super Soul Sunday, as Oprah says. Have a Super Soul Sunday with yourself. Pick some time during the week to do that. I moved on to another Oprah spiritual guru, and I've talked about this in my video about what I know about love. So I'm not going to get too much into this because you've seen this exact shot before where I hold up these two books by Marianne Williamson. So the first one I ever read was called Enchanted Love, The Mystical Power of Intimate Relationships. And yet the love she refers to is still that love connection between you and God, you and the universe, whatever you would like to call that source energy. and how it is unconditional and universal. And when you tap into that, love abounds, and that relationship that you've been so desperately longing for, if you connect into that energy properly and let go of all the fear and all the resistance, then that person will come to you. So this I read, as I mentioned in that video, I read before I met John, and healing a past relationship. I like this book because it starts with, she talks about God, like she says God, okay? But she also says you can call God whatever you want. But I used to be very like, ooh, God, ooh, what, religion. I used to like be so against all that until I think I started realizing that it's not God, like guy with a beard and all that stuff. But my God is the universe and the energy that I am and you are made out of. So, but she has these little prayers at the beginning of every chapter that I actually quite like, because they're like intentions or prayers that you can repeat before you go to bed. And actually, I used to pray before bed because I remember my parents' best friends' kids, they would all pray before bed, and we would say the Lord's Prayer before bed when we were over there pretty much every weekend. And I used to be like, never say it, but in some small way, you know, that was like an early like connection to this that, anyway, I'm just having this epiphany right now. Okay, like this prayer in this Marianne Williamson book, Enchanted Love. Dear God, I have lost my love. I feel as though my heart is broken and will never repair. Please help me, God, get over this. Reveal to me the truth and show me a love that never dies. Amen. Basically, throughout this whole book, all she's saying is ask and you shall receive. The same as law of attraction, the same as manifestation. Ask the universe, ask God, ask the energy, source energy, to help you heal, to help you find, to help you whatever, clear, let go, and they will answer. They, whoever is out there, will respond, because it only wants the best for you. It doesn't want to harm you. It doesn't want to make life shitty for you. It wants to make it amazing. And like I said, we're the only people stopping that from happening. I'm in the middle of reading A Return to Love, which is called Reflections on the Principles of A Course in Miracles. So Marianne Williamson read a book, a very big, huge textbook called A Course in Miracles, which I've seen that book and I have no interest in reading it. So I am now reading her like Marianne Williamson interpretation of A Course in Miracles. Same type of thing, universal love, a return to universal, infinite, unconditional love, not the love where you're like, oh my God, my heart's fluttering and blah, 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 because that doesn't last, because that's not even a real thing that's happening. This book, if you're into animal spirit guides and symbolism of animals, which I am as a vegan and an animal lover, they're very significant to me, but also going back to, of course, Native heritage, they very much have animal spirit guides. So this is a good book by Stephen Farmer. If you can find this either at like a used bookstore or a discount bookstore, like we have BMV in Toronto, pick this one up because it's usually $10, and it's a very good just encyclopedia of what the animal spirits mean. And then sometimes we get into tarot cards. Now, I'm not a big tarot card person. I actually just bought my first deck when I was in Nelson, BC on that little West Coast road trip you saw. And because Nelson was like this spiritual kind of cool place, I thought, I'm gonna get tarot cards when I'm in Nelson. And there was a bunch of crystal stores everywhere, but we stumbled into one store that had a whole wall of tarot cards. And I was like in there for so long being like, what's calling to me? What type of tarot cards am I gonna get? And I was getting anxious and I was like, I can't find tarot cards, nothing's speaking to me. And I was like trying to just get clear and be like, which one should I pick? And then at the end of the shelf, this like leapt out at me. Getting into the Vortex by Abraham, Esther, and Jerry Hicks cards about relationships. Of course, Lauren, you find these cards and they stare at you and whatever. So these are even different. They're like message cards. They're not even tarot. You don't need to do the grid, like the 3-card, 5-card, 10-card thing. This is just like pull a card. But I couldn't believe it was called Getting into the Vortex, because that's what I've been trying to do, listening to Abraham every day, repeatedly saying, I'm in the vortex. I just like that language of get in the vortex, align. So I found these cards, magic, and we just pull one. You feel, you can like hold it up to your heart. You can be like, what do I need to know? Or how will this situation turn out? Or blah, blah, whatever. You ask a question. But usually one, while you're shuffling, will just fly out the deck, because that's your card. Or you'll get this sense, if you just center for a second, breathe, you'll get a sense for which card you need, and I just found it, okay? And they're beautiful cards. Look how beautiful these cards are. Billions of us are living in perfect diversity. Then it's got a message on the back, okay? The diversity of your planet is of tremendous value and benefit because from variety springs all new ideas and expansion. Without the diversity, there would be complacency and endedness. You are billions of people living the perfect diversity just as you knew you would, constantly asking for improvement and thereby setting up for the next generation that improved life experience. If you understood that and no longer clamored for the one right way to live, things would go better for you sooner. Well, we all know what that's about, don't we? It's about being vegan, and it's about not imposing the way you want to live your life on everybody else, because there is no one right way to live. Oh, isn't this interesting? And today's World Vegetarian Day, Thursday, October 1st, as I'm shooting this, you're watching this on Friday. And of course, I've been posting messages about going vegan and blah, 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 and saying things like it's the only right way to live. I actually said that in my Instagram post because I believe it is the right way to live, but that's me putting up a resistance in terms of collaboration, creativity on whatever, and in terms of setting up the next generation, setting up the planet for the next generation. So I can only do all I can do. I'm not going to change the world. It's not going to maybe go vegan in my lifetime. It's not going to fix climate change overnight. But I guess what it's saying is just let it go and everything will be fine because you're doing all the right things by just following your intuition. Oh, okay, so funny. So anyways, look for your own tarot deck if you're interested in that kind of thing by just like seeing which one speaks to you when you're in the store. Read the books. If you've read any of the books I mentioned, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thank you so much for watching. Leave more comments below. Hashtag Ask Lauren. Ask me anything, pretty much anything. I will answer in due time. Okay, I'll see you guys on Monday.